All right. Hello, everybody, and happy Thursday night. Welcome to Crafty Hour number 53. So thank you guys again for joining us for another night of crafting along for an hour. I hope you had a chance to join Deanna this morning, and she did some fabulous cards with an interactive one. That was super adorable. So hopefully you guys got a chance to create those. So we're going to do 2 cards tonight, and we're going to kind of show you how to get more bang for your buck out of your cardstocks, because these are really pretty luxurious cardstocks, and we want to get more bang for a buck on those. So I'll give a moment for everybody to jump on. Hello, everybody. I see a lot of familiar, I was going to say faces, a lot of familiar names on. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Good evening. Get a little drink of water there. So it is very chilly here, so hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully some of you are warmer. It's chilly cold here. So I might have been a little, and I apologize, a little confusing on the stuff to grab for the kits. I did put a picture of what you need to grab. So I'll just kind of show you guys again really quick. So if you need to grab it from your kit, if you need to grab it from your stash, we'll give you guys a moment to grab these items in the kit. This was a fabulous kit. I think after I did my cards, this is my favorite one so far. I absolutely love that die that is in here. And staring at it, I didn't know what to do with it. And then once I started cutting and creating with it, oh my gosh, it is going to be one of my go-tos. So yes, ooh, only 10 degrees in Minnesota. Whew, it is 23 here. So I got my little heater going. Actually, I need to turn it on. Get my heater at my feet and try to stay warm. Okay, so from your stash, from your kit, everybody's gonna have this. This is the snowflake. It has these really cute villages on the back, and then the front side has the gray snowflake. That is the only piece of pattern paper that you guys are going to need out of your kit. The rest of it, I use the cardstocks and the patterns and the glimmers and stuff. So that's the only piece of paper you need from your kit. Now, on the thing, I had marked Kit A and Kit B, and I guess I should have been a little bit clearer with it. The first kit that we sold, and we sold out, everybody got 5 sheets of this. It was called Snowbound. It's this really cool, I don't know what to call it, textured cardstock, pearlescent paper. So this was in the first set. If you got waitlisted, this was not in your kit. You got Kit B is what I'm calling it. So if you do not have this piece of paper that's called Snowbound, and you got the gray instead, from your stash, grab anything white. It can be a piece of white cardstock. It can be a piece of white shimmer, a white pearl, whatever you want, just as long as it's white of some sort. So if you did not get the Snowbound, grab something white. White glitter, white pearl, white mirror, whatever you have. It will work all the same. This cardstock is really, really cool. This is the first time I've ever seen it and played with it, is when we got it for these kits. There's also a red one that we carry that is called Santa's Hat, and it has 5 sheets and they're red, and it has this same texture on it, which is really, really cool. So if you have not grabbed the red one yet, it's called Santa's Hat. You can grab those. Okay, so that was in Kit A. Kit B was the people who got waitlisted, because we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get more kits. We were able to get more kits, but at that time, this was sold out. We couldn't get it anymore, so we had to sub something. What we subbed was 5 sheets of silver that came from the Sizzix Opulent pack. The Sizzix Opulent in silver. So what you guys got was a silver version of this. You got a silver glitter, a silver matte, a silver brushed, a silver pearl, and a silver Miri. So I tried to work out of both kits. So what you're going to need from your kit is a silver glitter and a silver Miri. Now, if you guys got kit A, you did not get this in kit B. But I'm sure you have a silver glitter in your stash and a silver Miri in your stash. So grab those items. So basically anything will work. It's kind of the idea. It's all going to match. So as long as you have 2 different silvers in a Miri, a glitter, and then a pearly white, you're good to go. Anything will work. You can sub that. You know, we're flexible. From your stash, you needed to grab a piece of vellum, and we're going to cut a circle out of it. In your homework, I did post to cut this. I think it was a 3.5-inch circle. I'm going to cut it with you guys if you haven't cut it already. But you needed a piece of vellum. You needed a piece of acetate that was like a 4x4 square that was posted on your homework. And then you needed a piece of teal glitter. Again, flexible on this. This is from your stash. Where I grabbed this from was the teal opulent cardstock from Sizzix. I know Deanna used this pack also. If you do not have this pack, it is a fabulous pack. Add it to your wish list. But it's teal. If you don't have, and the one I used was the glitter, the top one. If you don't have this, it's okay. Grab any color of blue or teal that's going to coordinate and match these papers. You know what? It doesn't even have to be teal. Maybe you want to go purple. Maybe you want to go some other wintry colors. Go for it. But it could be glitter. It could be Miri. It could be solid cardstock. If you don't have the shimmers, go with a solid cardstock. Again, very, very flexible. Use what you guys have. I highly recommend and love all of these opulent packs by Sizzix. They're super affordable. There's 50 sheets in here. You get 10 of 5 different colors. And they have these in teal, ivory, gunmetal, rose gold, gold, silver. I think that's all of them. Grab them because they are great cardstocks for a great specialty price. Also, if you guys have this pack, and I know I've used this in a lot of the crafty hours, and so has Deanna, this also has a silver, this is where I got mine from, a silver glitter and a silver Miri in it too. So if you have that pack, you guys can grab that. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so let's get to crafting. The first thing we're going to need is, on the list, I told you guys, that one's really thin. Let me grab a little bit thicker one. I told you to grab a piece of 8.5 by 11 white cardstock. And what we're going to do is make our card base. And we're going to do it, I didn't have you pre-cut it because we're going to do it a little bit different than we normally do. We're going to put it in our trimmer tall. Okay, we're going to put it in the trimmer tall. So this is 8.5 by 11. And what we're going to do is our cards are going to open from the top. So 2 cards, we're going to fit 2 cards on here side by side. So that's why they're coming on that. Ooh, Debbie, yes. The opulence, I have seen a sneaky peeky, and there is a red coming out for a company. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. There is a red coming of opulence. And I know both of us will be getting it in. Okay, so we're putting our paper in here at 4 1/4. So 4 1/4, which is a standard card size front. So 4 1/4. So you're basically cutting this in half. Okay, you're going to cut it in half. And then set one of them to the side for card 2. And then the other one, we're going to flip it and score it at 5 1/2. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It is a standard card size. And we're going to have the crease at the top. And fold yours better than I just folded mine. That did not work. Where's my bone folder? I don't know how I managed to do that so crooked. Okay, so there is our standard card. So what we're gonna make is this guy right here. And I just love, see how pretty that blingy pearl white, this is the snowbound cardstock is. See how pretty that is? So that is card number 1. So that's what we're gonna work on. So the first thing we need to grab is our snowbound, the white one. Or if you have a white shimmer, grab that. Whatever you have that's kind of a metallic-y or white, grab that. And we are gonna cut this. This is gonna be our first base, which is gonna go right on top of our white. And it's gonna cover the whole card up. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're gonna cut that piece of paper. And I am using scraps here, so I'm just gonna make sure that mine fits on my scraps. Okay, so 4 1/4. Nothing goes to waste. 4 1/4, and we're gonna flip it and do 5 1/2. So it is going to cover up our entire card front. We're gonna have no white peeking. Oh, hello, Deanna. I didn't think you were gonna make it. It's gonna cover up your entire card front. So no white peeking around the outside edge. Do not glue anything down yet because we're gonna do a lot of creative die cutting. So all this beautiful paper doesn't go to waste. So that's what we're gonna start with, okay? Next, you're going to grab the silver. I used a silver glitter. If you have silver mirror, perfect. That will work too. There is no right or wrong, but I'm using silver glitter. The silver glitter is gonna be 4 by 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4. And I like to cut mine, flip it, and then do it the other way. And then that way you are not wasting your cardstocks. And somehow I have a feeling that is crooked. Okay, so 4 by 5 1/4. Yep, we're crooked somehow. And then that's gonna fit right on the front, and you're gonna have a little bit of white all the way around it. Let me see if I can straighten that up. Somehow I shifted. Oh, shift. Let's see if I can straighten her up. Oh man, I really shifted. Let me try again. We're gonna try that again. 4 by 5 1/4. And then that is going to go right in the center of that pearl and leave a little bit of white on it, okay? Then we're going to grab our snowflakies. And this is going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay? So 3 7/8, so it's 2 tick marks under a 4. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So 5 1/8 is 2 tick marks larger than 5. And then this is going to fit right in the center of our silver with just an itty bitty. So if you notice on my card, I did 2 different layers. I have a nice larger of the white, and then I went in and did just a little hair of that. Charlotte, it is the gray we're using. So everything on this card is gray. We're using gray. Okay? All right, so now we're going to bring in our snowflakes. And now is where we get more bang for our buck out of our dies. So you're going to grab the one that we cut, both of the pieces that we cut already in the gray glitter and the white shimmery. Okay, gray glitter and white shimmery. So now we're going to be doing some die cutting. So I'll bring my die cut machine in. We're going to do quite a bit of die cutting, so I thought it'll just be easier to bring it in and die cut together. So the first one we're going to do is our white shimmer is going to be the first one we die cut. That is going to be what I'm going to call the smallest snowflake, and I can't remember, I think they start A. This will be your A snowflake. Isn't that what they started? Was, I don't know where my packaging is. Yes, snowflake A is the one that's least detailed. That's going to go on there. Doesn't matter where you put it on here. We're going to cover it up. Just make sure you stay away from the two edges here and have enough for when you put your gray on top, you only see white. Okay? So that is going to be the A die. And I always like to go forward and then bring it again backwards. Okay, and then she punches out really nice, really nice. And this is where you need your pokey tool. Okay, so I'll give everybody a moment to finish that one because I don't want to get ahead and lose anybody. Okay, I clean out my die while I'm waiting. Okay, so that was A. Then we can set that to the side. And I had in your homework to grab just a piece of white, and I want to get all these guys off my thing because if you have these little hanging chads on your mat, when you go to cut the foils, it impresses it, and I don't want that to happen. No impressions. So the next one we're going to do is going to be the B one. And look at that, I got a scrap piece of paper. So we're doing that in white cardstock. I told you to grab 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11. So the second sheet is going to be your scraps, your scrap piece. We're taking B, layer B, and we're just cutting white cardstock. Just a piece of regular white cardstock. I really liked how that snowbound shimmery cardstock layered up nicely with just a piece of white cardstock. When I started playing with them at first, I was doing 3 different colors, and then I was like, ooh, 3 different colors starts to get really busy for the eye. So it's nice to do kind of that tone on tone. It really sets the mood on there. So it's nice to do that. So this is B, die B. This is the second one. And you're just doing white cardstock. Just white cardstock. Nothing fancy. Okay. And then the last one, which is our fuller one, which is C, is going to be out of your glitter. So you're going your silver glitter. We're going to put that again in the very center because we're going to be using this piece again. So we just want to gut the center out. And we are doing the silver glitter with the third die. This is the C die, the C die. My mats are shifting. I need to find a different setup for my mats. Okay. And then we'll have one more piece that we're going to cut. So you might have already done this. In the instructions, I told you to cut a vellum circle. You may or may not have done that. The vellum circle is 3 3/8-ish. Could be 3 1/2. 3 1/2, we'll call it. You need to cut out a circle. And that is just, I'm just using my tonic dies. Love the tonic dies. I have gotten so much use out of all those nesting ones. The one I'm using is from the original bundle that we did that had 8 dies in it. It had 4 of the straight ones, 4 of the scallop, baby scallop ones. If you have a stitching one, go ahead and use it. If you have a scallop one, it'll be fine. Use it. Use whatever circle you have, because basically it is going to be hidden behind your layers. And this is vellum. So the vellum was going to be from your stash. If you don't have a vellum, that's okay. You don't have to have vellum. It just kind of gives it, it hides the background a little bit. I put it on the pattern paper, and I felt like if you ever have pattern paper and you're doing something and you're like, gosh, that is just too busy, and the image just gets lost. By putting a piece of vellum on top of it, you can still see your background a little bit, but it masks it, and it matches really nice. So those work great. So a little piece of vellum is magical for busy papers. Busy papers. And I'm just cleaning my dies as we go because we will need that. So now we can punch our dies out. And you should have the sparkly one, which is layer A. And I have not found out a use for these yet, but you better believe I'm keeping those because you can die cut something out of there. You can do a layer or something out of that. Or I thought, how cool would it be to work it into a mixed media page and have it like, I don't know, you see parts of a snowflake? I don't know. That's my challenge to you guys. Haha, I'm going to give you a challenge. Come up for something artsy for these scraps. Okay, so we're just punching these guys out. So hopefully all of you guys are with me. Trying not to go too fast, but yet I don't want to run out of time. I think we'll be perfect. I think we'll be good. See, that one's really cool. That would be cool to put on a layer on a mixed media page or something else on top of it with that in the background. So I challenge you. I challenge you to use that centerpiece for something. Got to be a use for it, right? Okay, there's those. On these glitters, this particular glitter that I had from that deco stack, maybe the Sizzix ones are a little bit different. I think they're a little bit heavier. If you have a hard time, I use the self-healing mats from iCrafter, and sometimes the squishy on the back does not give you a good impression, a good cut. You need something harder in there. And it's not cutting all the way through. Just use 2 cutting plates, 2 clear plates, and it'll cut better. The squishy ones, sometimes there's too much squish for the thicker glitter papers. Ooh, yeah, moon would be perfect. Planets or a moon. Be cute. Okay, so now we have our circles. Now it's time to play Matchmaker. So we're going to start with the silver one. I'm just using my glue press with my Nuvo glue. It worked perfect on this. I didn't have any budging or moving. You just gotta figure out. Ooh, there we go. Where it goes. So all I did is put a little dab here and there in the center of the snowflakes. And what I love about the Nuvo is it dries clear. So if I happen to smush too much out, I don't have to worry about it. And then I'm going to go around the outside edge, just give it a little fine line. But I love this glue press. If you guys do not have one of these yet, definitely add it to your Christmas list because it is one of my favorite things. Definitely one of my favorite things. And I'm not going to lie, if you're one of my customers, I've told you time and time before, when it first came out, I did not want to like it. I thought it was gimmicky and a waste of money until I tried one. And now I'm hooked and I cannot craft without it. Okay, there's that one. And then next up is our top one. And actually, I know I have several customers that have said the same thing after I told them that. They're like, you know what? I thought the same thing. I thought it was gimmicky. And they are all in love. How's everybody doing? Are we crafting? I always love it when I'm taking virtual classes from designers and stuff, and they're like asking me questions. And then they're like, how come everybody's being quiet? And it's like, because we're gluing and painting. Our hands are busy. I can't craft and type. I can tell Siri to type, but you know what? Siri some days just does not understand what I'm saying. Okay. Okay, see? Not that hard to put these together. It is a beautiful layer, and it goes together just like that. Very, very easy. Then we're going to take our vellum piece and we're going to put that right over the top of our vellum piece. So again, just put some glue kind of in the larger areas around the edge, in the middle of your snowflakes, and we're just going to glue it to that vellum. Which die was the white cardstock? B. B. So the first die, I kind of started, and I think that's the way they are in the kit. You have A, B, and C, so the least to the most. This was the snowbound. This was the white cardstock, and this was the glitter, the silver glitter. And then the regular circle from my tonic dies is the vellum. And if your vellum is a little bit bigger, just take your scissors and just snip it off. Or if you used a scallop one and you have scallopy on the outside, I bet that's adorable. I would leave it. Leave it. It's adorable. Okay, now we're going to get to the card. All that prep work. Okay, so we're going back to our card. We have our card base. Card base. Our first piece going down is the white snowbound. White snowbound. If you didn't have white snowbound, it could be white glitter, white pearl, white mirri. I don't know that they make white mirri. I think I just made that up. White shimmer. And you're going to put that on your white card base so that you see no white around the outside edges. It's going to go all the way from side to side, top to bottom. Okay? Then we're going to have our silver. And don't worry, our circles don't need to line up because this is going to be covered up. In card 2, we have to line up our circles. And I will show you a trick for card 2 to line your circles up. Actually, once I started playing with it, it wasn't that hard. It's just you got to do it in a certain order. Okay, so silver goes on. With the silver on, you're going to have a larger white border all the way around. Don't worry about your circles in the center. They don't need to line up. Don't worry about those. Okay, then we have our snowflakes. I loved this gray tones. I almost did like all white. I was going to do like a white on white on white. But then I was like, ooh, I like just a little bit of silver and a little bit of gray. So I threw those in there. Threw some gray in. Okay. All right. We'll make sure everybody gets there. So we should have your card base and then your circle. And let me know what you guys got those. Okay. We're going to put foam on the back of this. So I'm using this is the Scrapbook adhesive foam. I love this foam, use it all the time. Love the squares. Squares are my favorite. I don't know where my small ones are right now. So I'm just going to chop some down because why not? And I'm going to put the foam on the back, kind of hidden behind the snowflakes, so you won't see it. And somewhere I have micron ones, but you know what? I need to clean my table off to find them. So I'm just going to cut some down instead of hunting. Put it behind there. Okay, I have a hair in my shirt that is tickling me and is driving me bonkers. Okay, so we're just putting foam on the back side. Ah, found it. Okay. Then we're going to fasten that down. It doesn't matter where you want to put it. I felt like this was kind of more appealing to the eye. Twist it, turn it, do however you want, but we're just going to pop that. I find when I have all the little heaters going on in my room, somehow we create, I'm sure there's a science to it, create static electricity. The vellum is underneath everything, Charlotte. So vellum is the bottom layer. It's the bottom layer of your cluster. It's going to be the very back, the very back. Okay, and then I just kind of come down from the top, so it's equal from the top, equal on the sides, and I'm just kind of like squaring it up. Just kind of square it up. Okay, then we're going to go back to our scraps, if you've got scraps, of that snowbound white. And you know what? This scrap might be pretty dang close. Not quite. The snowbound white, we're going to dig in your scraps or your piece. Whatever color you use for your back layer is what we're cutting here. It is going to be 5/8 of an inch by 4. 5/8 by 4. And mine is barely there, so I gotta five. Oh, this is gonna be fun. And we'll hope that's straight. 5/8 of an inch by 4. Okay, and then on your table you might have an itty bitty little scrap or strip or something of silver. This is where nothing goes to waste. This silver is 1/8 of an inch by 4. I don't know that I'm going to get this cut to 1/8 of an inch, but we'll see. I think the 1/8 of an inch piece was already laying on my table and I literally just picked it up and glued it down. Not too bad. It doesn't have to be exact, just a little sliver. And all we're doing is trying to add a little bit of color. We're bringing this white back in from the background. We're bringing that silver back in from the background. So it doesn't need to be exact. And we're going to glue that silver down to the center of that white. And this is a perfect way to use up your scraps. And sometimes that's how some of my designs happen. I'm like, ooh, there is a little sliver of something on my table. Why don't I just glue that down? Okay, then that is going to get glued down here. Perfect. Ooh, I hope we have time for the next one. I'm going a little slow this time. Although I think some of you are probably happy I'm slowing. Okay, we're going to put that there. And then Winter Wishes is from these lovely punch outs. These are so pretty, so nice. You're just going to grab Winter Wishes. And when you put I put the pop dots on, I kind of put them at the top and the bottom so it's straddling this piece there. So it doesn't go weeble wobbly. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Okay, so I kind of did so that strip will go in the center, that way it'll lay flat and it won't weeble wobble on top of that piece. And there we go. There is card 1. I'm going to leave the embellishing to you guys because I want to get to card number 2. So all I did is I took the sequins that you guys got, and these come in tons of different colors from Spellbinders. They are great for shaker cards, but they're also good to glue down as embellishments. And all I did is take the smallest sizes in there and I flipped them over so they had the domed, so the disc part, so it's flat on the back, kind of concaved on the front, and put them in the center of the snowflakes. And it just brought in that silver and made it pop. Oh, thank you, Amy. I think so too. I think this is my favorite kit so far. I don't know how we're gonna top this one. Okay, so that's card number 1. I'll let you guys embellish afterwards. Card number 2, gonna be kind of simple because what we're gonna do is keep the same exact measurements. Same exact measurements we already did, but this one is going to pop. So it's gonna be like a little easel card. We've got our little easel card, okay? So we're gonna pop it really quick and easy. And then of course, you know me, we had to have a shaker card. So we're gonna do kind of the same process, but this is a shaker card, so we have to line up our circles every time. So we have to make sure our circles line up. So remember that piece of paper we cut earlier, our white piece of paper? Let's grab that and go ahead and score it. And our score is going to be 5.5 and 2. 5.5 and 2. So we're going to score it. Make sure you don't cut it. We've already cut it. So 5.5. Okay. And then 2. Nope, I almost cut it. I'm glad I paused and thought for a second. Paused and thought. Oh, thank you, Rosie. So there's your pieces. You're going to fold it in half. Card's going to fold in half. And then your little kickstand is going to fold over. And you know what? This is the exact same kind of idea I did last month, or last Crafty Hour, where I punched this and made a gift card puller outer. Well, this time it's going to be an easel. Haha, we're repurposing it. Okay, so set that to the side. We will come back to that. And this is where you're going to grab your teal glitter, your teal cardstock, your teal Miri, whatever you have in teal, grab that. And this is going to be our first cut, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. I think that's why I paused and didn't do it. I heard you. Thank you. It was like osmosis, right? I know. I like paused for a second. I'm like, nope, that's wrong. Okay, so this is my teal. It is going to be 5 and a fourth, sorry, 4 1/4 teal, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. 5 1/2, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, this is going to fit on your entire card front. So you'll have, don't glue it yet, but you'll have no white showing. So no white, no white. Okay, then you're gonna grab our second piece, which is silver. Hey, look, silver again, silver. And we're gonna cut it 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. Four by 5 1/4. So when you put this onto your teal, you're going to have a large border around it, just like the first one. So these are the exact same measurements we used on the first card. Exact same measurements. Oop, I'm working down to scraps. Do I have enough? Then you're going to grab your snowbound, that white paper that we used in the first one. And it's going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I'm using a scrap, so let me see if we're there. Ooh, 5 1/8. I am there at 5 1/8. And 3 7/8. Woohoo, look at that. I got down to dust on that paper. Down to dust. Okay, so now what you're going to have is you've got your teal for your outer, then you have your silver, then you're going to have your white pearly, and you're going to have just a little border of silver. So you got a larger border, a very fine silver, and then the white. Okay? So let me just change that. That's going to be teal. That's going to be silver. That's going to be white. So same dimensions as we did on the first card. I tried to keep it easy. Try to keep it easy. So now we're going to get a little complicated, hair complicated, because we're going to make a shaker and we're going to use these cardstocks, might as well, to make the window for our shaker. But we need to make sure all of our pieces and all of our circles line up so we have that shaker window. So we're going to do all of these together, and we kind of have to think backwards. So I'm going to set that card right there, and what we're going to start with, okay, what we're going to start with is our white. We're going to start with our white paper, okay? White paper, and let me grab the die cutting. And it is very important that we do this exact order and these exact colors, or it won't turn out. Okay, you'll have weird sizes. We're going to start with die C. So this is the one that is the fullest, your fullest die, die C. We're going to put our card in there, and we want to think about the positioning of our circle. So we want equal on the sides, equal on the top. Okay, equal sides, equal top. We're on our white piece of paper. Okay, we're going to put our circle down, and this is where you want to make sure it is where you want it. So I need to come, I like it. I like right where it's positioned, okay? And we're going to crank that through without the paper on it. Okay, this is just on your white snowflake or white shimmer or white glitter, whatever you have. We are doing die cut C. So that is the fullest one, C. Okay, so set this guy to the side. We'll worry about him in a little bit. Make sure to clean your mat off. You want to have none of this stuff on there because we're going to keep layering. So the next one, this is a very important step, very important. You're going to grab your silver. You're going to grab your silver. And if this is where you don't trust yourself and you want to put a little bit of repositionable adhesive on the back side so it doesn't shift, go for it. I have my magnetic platform on here, so it's not going to shift on me, so I know I'm okay, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyways. And you're going to lightly put that on there. Do not glue it with permanent glue. I just used repositionable adhesive to kind of hold it there because I need to know that this next circle lines up with that circle. So the next circle die that we're going to grab is die A. Die A. So this is the one with the least amount of stuff. You're going to wiggle it in there and you're going to see it. It's going to grab it. It's going to fit right in that hole. Okay? Right in that hole. It's going to fit. You're going to leave it on there and you're going to die cut it now through the silver. You're leaving the white on there because if you pulled it up, you would lose that layer, and you need these layers to layer on top of each other. And looky there. Now our circle is, we're making a tunnel. It is going to line up perfect. So you can pop that guy out. You can, now you're going to have to pull your white off. Okay, you got to pull your white off because now we have to repeat the same thing. Wow, that said repositionable, but it kind of held it a little bit more than repositionable. That's okay. We're going to do the same thing with, and I'm taking that repositionable off of here because if not, it's going to stick to my cutting mats and then it makes a mess. So I'm just getting that repositionable off. So now you're going to grab your teal, and I'm going to switch platforms at this point because I know my teal will not cut through that die with this guy on here. So I'm going to my cutting plate. I'm going to do cutting plate to cutting plate. I'm getting rid of my self-healing one. So now what you're going to do is you're going to line up, again, line up your teal, and I'm not putting repositionable on it this time because that made a mess last time. Line it up so you have your perfect border all the way around it. You're going to lay it down. And this time we're using the B cutting plate or die, B. And again, you're just going to wiggle it until it grabs perfectly in that little spot. It's going to grab it. You don't need to force it. And we're going to die cut this. Now, this one, you might have to do a couple passes to get it through because not only are we going through a thick glitter paper, but it's lined up on there too. Yeah, mine's not punching yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it on there and we're going to run it through a couple more times because that glitter is really thick. There we go. Now we're coming out. Okay, these are the pieces I thought they were the coolest. I'm like, that could be a cool scrap in something because it's glitter and it's got part of a snowflake. I thought that would make a cool layer for something. Okay, we are done with die cutting. We are done with die cutting now. So what we did is we created this tunnel because we needed everything to tunnel down. We need all of our circles to line up so we have that tunnel for our shaker card. You see where I'm going? Okay, so now we can glue these pieces together. And we cut one at a time, and we not only made our tunnel for our shaker, but we got all of our snowflakes cut out of that and we used less cardstock. We didn't have to use a whole separate piece of cardstock to do that. How cool is that? Okay. And then now we're going to glue the white down. We might go over just a hair, but I think they'll be okay. Because I do want to make it through this one, okay? And we're going to put that, whoops. Line the circles up, Kourtney. Do as I say, not as I do. Line the circles up. I'm going for the edge. So now we have the perfect tunnel. A little bit of glue on there. Okay, do you see the method to my madness? Perfect tunnel. Okay, now since we're putting it into a shaker, we need to put a piece of acetate. We need to close the window. So I'm going to flip it over, and this is where I told you to have a piece of 4x4 acetate. And we're going to put score tape on here just to give it a good sticky surface, or suquang. I'm using 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch is my favorite size. I use the most. I also use an 1/8 inch for itty bitty things, but I would say 1/4 inch is my go-to size. Okay, so I'm just putting down some score tape. I love score tape too because it is quick and easy, and you can rip it with your fingers, and you don't have to sit there and waste time cutting it. Although I broke a nail, so we're down a nail, a little bit slower to work with. Okay, and then you're going to put your piece of acetate on there. So that closes and seals your window. Okay, perfect. Now, we have to kind of create a backer piece for this because it's going on an interactive card and it's going to kind of flip. We need to make a backer for it. So we're just going to grab that scrap piece of cardstock that I told you to have in advance. That was at 8.5 by 11. You had an extra one. We're going to cut it to card size, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5. Okay, we're just cutting a piece of cardstock that's going to be your backer. So 4 1/4 by 5.5. Standard card size. Okay, so that'll be our backer. And now we need to do our foams. We need to do our foamies. I love the Scrapbook adhesive. This is their strips. They're skinny strips. They are perfect height. If you take the backing off, and only if you take the backing off, it makes them curvable. So you can put them on and you can wrap them easily around edges and stuff. It does not do that if you leave the backing on. So you got to peel the backing off and then it's more curvable. Is that a word? It is now. So we're just going around our little window. I tried to make a shaker with this, and to try to put foam tape along that little edge and pop it was a nightmare. So I came up with this idea. It is similar to like the peekaboo window kind of thing I did with the Crafty Hour that we had the leaf. I did the silhouette leaf. Same kind of idea, same kind of concept. And I love that die too, right? God, I am loving all these memory box poppy stamp dies. They are gorgeous. Okay, so there's our foam. Now we got to get our sequins. And I like to use my little tray Love to put our tray in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my sequins on the back here, kind of spread them out. And then we will drop this down on top. There we go. We're going to drop it down on top, and now we have our shaker. I have a little bit of white at the top, so I'm just going to take my scissors and snip that. Just going to snip the hangover. Oh, how I wish it was still that easy. Okay, there we go. There's our shaker. Oh, actually, what I know I needed to do, I needed to put foam tape here at the bottom too. I put a strip of foam tape right there at the bottom. Otherwise, my card squishes. Okay, there we go. Now we're the same height. Okay, so there's my shaker. So the hardest part is kind of done. Okay, so we've got our shaker now. We don't need our dies. We need to punch out our snowflakes now. And I'm going to apologize. We're going to go maybe a couple minutes over, but I do want to kind of finish this card. I had a little bit of detail on that one. As we're punching, I'll just talk. That way I don't have to do the talking at the end, right? So yes, this was Crafty Hour 53. I want to thank everybody for trusting the process, signing up for these Crafty Hours with Scrapbook-N-Memories and Clipper Street. We appreciate the love and the support, and you guys are following along with these series and enjoying them. If you are a US customer, we do have a couple of the Crafty Hour 53s still in stock, because remember, we were able to get some more, but I think we might only be down to our last maybe 3 or 4 of them. They are on the website. You guys can go grab them over there. And I'm saying US customers only, because I know Canadian Post is having that strike right now. And right now we are not shipping to Canada, because we did ship a box this week, and holy bejeevers, it cost us 3 times the price to ship it. So just US guys, sorry. Okay, then we're going to punch these out, and then Crafty Hour 55 goes live tomorrow. Deanna already posted the event in Crafty Hour Creations and on our Facebook pages, so you guys can click that you are going to the event. That way Facebook will send you a reminder tomorrow when we go live. And at that time, it'll be 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific. It will go live on our Facebook pages. We will be adding the links during the live, so you guys can jump over and grab them there. I know, right? Glitter paper. I can never, around Christmas and winter, I just feel like I can never have enough glitter paper, guys. It is so, so pretty. Okay, we're almost there. We're punching these guys out. I just love this teal opulence. The teal opulence are gorgeous. And like I said, stay tuned. There is a red opulent coming. I don't think it's going to start shipping until the middle of December. So it might be a little late to get in time for Christmas, but you know what? It'll be here perfectly in time for Valentine's Day. Perfect timing for Valentine's. Okay, we got all those pieces punched. So we're going to stack these on top of each other and do our matchmaker, we're going to call it. Let me see my general idea of where I'm going. So the shimmery white is your very bottom layer. Your teal is going to be your second layer. There's a little hanging chad right there. And if you guys are joining us late, or if you're just jumping in really quick, remember that this is on replay. You can come back to it later and watch it on replay. And it'll be right here on our Scrapbook and Memories face page. It's always on the public page. And then if you missed Deanna's this morning, it is also on demand, so you can go back and watch it on replay. And it is on Clipper Street's public Facebook page, so you can grab the replays there, and then that way you guys can pause it and craft along and grab them on replay. Okay, is that where that one goes? I just love this combination, the teals with the silvers with the whites. Oh my gosh, be still my heart. And this, oh, be still. Oh. Oh, Champ wants to play. It's puppy time. Yeah, I just heard my puppies just went out the back door and they are barking like crazy. So there's something out there. Coco's got to go patrol the neighborhood. We're almost there. We're on the home stretch. Okay. So this last one, I glued it flat. You could pop it if you want, but if you pop it, you're going to have to pop this piece higher. So I just glued mine flat. And some of my pieces don't seem to be drying, so let me squish them down a little bit more. We're going to glue this whole medallion set that we just made. We are going to glue that flat. And then I will take pictures and post in Crafty Hour Creations of my completed ones because I did add gems to both of them, and I'll give you that for you guys for homework. You'll get a follow-up homework from me. And it's just going to be adding the gems and decorating. Okay. And then just how we did the die cuts, it is going to fit right down into that window and stick. Because we die cut all those at the same time. A little glue there. It is going to fit right down in that window and glue perfectly. Perfectly. Then in our die cut sheet is where you're going to find the winter wishes. And how beautiful are these? My goodness. I love that they pop out. These deer are gorgeous. The whole set is just fabulous. So there's the winter wishes. We're going to add some foam to the back side of these. Oh, and then I did put something on the inside because I remember we did an easel card. So there is one more we got to do. Oops, winter wishes. Okay, and then on the inside, because remember, we're going to pop it up. It's going to pop. There's snowflakes. So we're going to have to open your card. Or actually, we haven't even glued it to the card yet. Haha, psych. When you put your card on, you only want adhesive right here. So I'm going to use my score tape. And I'm going to put it, and this is where I use my little bit thicker score tape. This one's probably 3/8 of an inch. And I'm going to put it just on this bottom flap. Just the bottom flap. Okay. I'm going to flip it. Actually, I'm going to find it easier to line it up at the top and then lay it down. Okay, so there is how it's going to pop on your easel. And then the last thing you're going to do is add your snowflakes so you have your easel. And what snowflakes it is, it doesn't really matter. You just need kind of a medium-sized one, which is probably that one, and then a small-sized one, any of these will work. And the first one I glued flat. The second one, I put a pop on it. And it's going to work as your stopper. It's going to be your stopper. So put it right there, and that's your little stopper. Okay, so thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight and crafting along with Crafty Hour 53. I'm assigning some homework for you. So these guys that were in the group that we used for sequins, let me close that bag before I spill them all over the floor. You're going to take those and you're going to glue small ones to the center of your snowflakes on card number 1. Okay. Card number 2, you're going to do the same thing on the inside. You're going to glue those little sequins right there on card number 2. I also went in and did some little pieces here. Now there I used something different because I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I used the Pink Fresh. These are just called Clear Drops Iridescent. I thought they were beautiful and they matched really nice. But if you don't have those, then by all means use these guys. Use those sequins and just put a trail of 3 and a trail of 3. So that, my friends, is Crafty Hour 53. Whew, look at the mess we made. That's how you know it was fun time crafting. So thank you everybody so much for all the hearts, all the love. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for crafting along. Have a fabulous night. Don't forget to post your creations over in Crafty Hour Creations, our private Facebook group. If you're not joined, make sure to jump over there and join that group so you can share your makes. And then tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific AM, we go live with the next Crafty Hour number 55 with the full reveal. So have a fabulous night and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.